this session today.
Hi, everyone. I am Ms Merrill. I have taught at Hilltop Elementary School for 8 years now, and I teach the primary grades. I've taught pre-K, kindergarten, and last year was my first year in 2nd grade. I really enjoy arts integration with my primary background, and I really enjoy just infusing technology for all learners and learning all the new ways that we can do that.
And I'm Megan Salerno. I've been a general educator at Hilltop for about 3 years, and this year I am moving to Arnold. Prior to this, I was an ESOL teacher, and I do enjoy infusing technology and arts into the curriculum. And I apologize for my 3-year-old. So today's outcomes, we are going to go over in brief how to get into Brightspace, which I'm sure we're all pros at now. We're going to talk about navigating your courses in the nav bar and personalizing it a little bit. We're going to walk through a ready-to-go sandbox and talk about some tips and tricks within the Brightspace world from Ms Merrill and I, who implemented Brightspace this past spring. So just as a quick reminder, getting into Brightspace at home, you're going to need to set up your multi-authentication, which can be found in class link, going to password reset or secure my account, and then it will ask you questions, and you are able to set it up through a text message to get a code.
So the first thing that we're going to talk about really is the nav bar today, and we're going to really walk through and look at how to customize it for your classroom. So we have 2 separate options for you to use. It's the icon-based nav bar, and then there's also the standard view. The icon-based will show the pictures, and the standard view will just have the word descriptions for the students. We really recommend definitely for pre-K through 2nd grade that you use that icon-based, but then after that you can kind of lean them towards just the words once they're ready in those intermediate grades. The nav bar is going to allow you and your students to really find their work really easily and find things that are going to benefit you. Some of the things that you can add to the nav bar that might help you are these icons here: the Discover tool, Course Admin, Course Builder, Portfolio, and My Portfolio as well, quizzes, grades, Brightspace Help, assignments, and attendance. Some of those things are already added for you, but we're going to walk through how to add and delete those today. So I will give everybody about a minute. If you're not already logged into your Brightspace, we're going to go into our own sandboxes and kind of walk through some things together, and then I'll give you some time to kind of dabble and play around in your own sandbox.
Ms. Cutter, do you have a question?
Yes. I don't have my school name on my banner, so I was wondering how do I put that in there when I go into my sandbox?
So this is not my sandbox. When I open up oh my goodness, I said Dreambox. When I open up Brightspace, this is my landing page. So my sandbox is going to look like this. I can help you to change that name at the top. We're not going to go over it today in this course, but if you shoot me an email, I can walk you through it. We can meet together. Give me 1 second. All right.
And if you could
Thank you.
Type your questions into the chat box, and I will do my best to answer them as quick as I can.
And also, if any questions are unanswered, if we just miss them by chance, we apologize, but we do have a transcript of everything that people had asked. So either Megan or I or someone from the Brightspace or the IT office will get back to you to help you with any questions that are unanswered. So again, we're in our own sandboxes. Our nav bar is up here at the top. So this is really just going to help you. The way that I've set up my nav bar is I have things that I'm personally going to be using as the teacher on the left-hand side. And then on the right-hand side are things that students can also see and students will be using as well. So let me just show you real quick. We're going to be going back and forth between student view and teacher view, or just standard view, a few times just to kind of see. But you'll be able to see what I mean by things that students can't see and students can see when you see it from the student view. So right now, this is what my sandbox looks like. I'm going to click on my name at the top, and I'm going to view as a student. And as you can see, some of those things have disappeared. So now only things that those students will be using are here. That does it automatically for you. There's not really any settings as of right now that changes those things. It's just things that students can use and students cannot. So I'm going to make sure that I'm not viewing as a student anymore so that we can edit. So I am going to scroll all the way over to this blue box right here with the 3 dots, and I'm going to click. And if you've never edited your nav bar before, it will say something different than edit this nav bar. As long as you're clicking this nav bar and not all course nav bars, you're in the right place. So regardless of what it says, you're going to edit that. If you have not edited this before, it will ask you to make a copy. Yes, you can make a copy. As you can see, I've already made a copy, so it says copy next to mine. This is the name of the nav bar that you're working on, so you can save multiple different ones. I just go back and do the same. I just edit the same one every time. Underneath, you'll see all of the icons or different widgets that are in your nav bar. So you can kind of click and drag them to move them to wherever you want them to be. I know someone yesterday wanted to put them in ABC order, or you can use whatever is going to work for you. One really important thing that you should look to add, if it's not in your nav bar already, is this Discover tool. This is going to be how you're finding your curriculum within Brightspace and courses that they're going to be offering for PD sessions, etc. in Brightspace. So to add a link into into your nav bar, I'm going to, actually I'll delete it and then I'll show you how to add it back. Deleting is super easy as long as you're in that edit screen. Then you can just push the X and save and it will be gone for you. So to add a link, you're going to click Add Links. And you can scroll down. These are in ABC order, so I can go to the Ds to find Discover. I'm going to make sure it's clicked. Add. It'll be at the end. I can click and drag to wherever I want it to be. If I want that icon based, that's what it is right now. I'm going to make sure that box is checked. If I do not want it, I will uncheck it and it will give you a preview of what it's going to look like. The rest is just standard. We're going to leave it just like that. And I can save and close. Then you should see your new things at the top. Do we have any questions about adding or deleting from the nav bar before we continue? Okay. I'm going to give everybody, let's say about 4 more minutes, just to kind of work around in there, kind of look at some of those different things that you can add to the nav bar, and then we'll move on to the next section. Please ask any questions if anything arises.
Would you recommend the attendance for 3rd through 5th grade?
I would assume that we're all taking our attendance through there. It's just an easier way to find it. I'm not sure if it's going to be beneficial or not. I've never taken attendance in there, but if it's something that's quick and easy for me and I can do it right away, it's something I want to do. So that's definitely up to you. I'll put this screen back up here. These are just some things that I've added to mine. It's going to be just, I played around with different things. Some things are not really, they don't really work with AACPS, or we don't have access to them. But they're just, you know, standard different things that you can add. So really, it's just going to be teacher preference.
And the attendance button, I do believe eventually it will be linked to PowerSchool, and that is how you will take the attendance. Also, Ms Merrill's class tools icon looks different because she changed the way it looks. But if you need any help doing that, that's for another session, and we'll be happy to help during office hours.
Ms. Winters, you can go ahead.
Yes, I was just wondering if they covered how to put stuff in the portfolio.
We are not going to be covering that today, but there is a session, I believe it's going on right now, on putting things in the portfolio.
Is it under differentiation? Is it 12 o'clock? No?
Let me check for you.
There is a Brightspace portfolio going on right now.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should go there. I already filled out the attendance in yours. What do I do and fill out the attendance in theirs also?
Yeah, I would, just to make sure.
Here's the link to that one.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I really wanted to do both, but I guess I can't be in two places unless I'm twins.
We will have a recording of this session too. You can go back and watch
Thank
it.
you.
No problem.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, and we're going to keep going, but there'll be extra time at the end for questions. And if there's enough time, I can kind of walk you through how to change some of those icons. We just put this in there. If everything that you're going to need to find is going to be in that waffle button. So if I go back into my Brightspace here, everything that I need to find is going to be here. I will show you how to add the curriculums. Right now, there is only grade 1 and grade 3 that are discoverable in our Discover tool. So once you've added the Discover tool, which is that book with the magnifying glass, to your nav bar, you just make sure you're out of the edit mode. No problem, Carol. You will see new things that are posted in here that you can become a part of. So I have already become a part of the 3rd and 1st curriculum, so I cannot add them myself. But anything that you are able to self-enroll in is all here. So I will just kind of walk you through. If I want to become part of the science curriculum for middle school and high school, I'm going to click on it and just simply enroll in course. Once you've done that, it'll ask you to go to the course. I will pull up the 3rd grade curriculum. And it takes you right to it. So now anytime I want to find it, I can find it in my waffle right here. Just remember that as of right now, I don't believe that there's a way to delete the things off of here. So I've pinned my courses that I want to be able to get to quickly right here at the top. So if I simply don't want to be able to see third grade curriculum right at the top, all I'm going to do is unpin it. To pin it, I just make sure that that pin is filled in. You don't want to be scrolling. Yesterday I was looking for things and I was like scrolling all the way to the bottom of my courses. So some things will be deleted automatically. Once sessions close, then they will no longer be in your waffle button. I believe that Skip told us yesterday that everything will be in there to discover next week or in the coming weeks. They're still making changes and adding things to that curriculum.
Okay. So for some tips and tricks about using Brightspace in your classroom. So first, make sure that you are a part of the Brightspace community, which can be found in those training videos in your modules. But this is a really great resource for helping you find pretty much the answer to anything you may need as it arises. So in the spring, Ms Merrill and I implemented Brightspace into our classrooms. And these are just some suggestions that we had from going through this process. One suggestion would be to start sooner rather than later. It is a little overwhelming at first, but it does get easier as you practice. We recommend beginning with just one thing that you want to do and then add on to that as you go along. So if one thing you want to do is you have a math rotation and you want them to have their math journal in Brightspace, just only implement that and then add on as you go on. Okay. I found it was easiest to do the stream or the announcement page first as a morning work question. So they came in, or I was all virtual, so they just logged into Brightspace and then answered our morning work question. And another easy thing was recording their voices in videos. That was really engaging and it was a different way for them to share their learning. So that was a really good way to get them in. And as always, just stay positive. I promise they're going to get it. It might seem daunting at first, but the more they practice and using Brightspace, the easier it will become. So one thing that I did use while implementing Brightspace was something called a Brightspace Passport that I made for my class. So I gave them one slide at a time. I didn't give them the whole passport because that was a little overwhelming. So they can customize it to fit them, add their picture, type their name. And then I gave them a task for that day after I modeled it. So first I just showed them what Brightspace was and how we were going to use it. And then they had to tell me why they were excited. From there, I added different activities. And each time they did an activity, they could copy and paste my Bitmoji into their spot. So when they updated their profile, they got a badge, and then they did a reflection. Was this task easy, okay, or was it too much for me to do? This let me know that they got it or they didn't get it, and then they had to give a reason why they felt that way. So it got them using Brightspace slowly and then self-reflecting on how they were able to do that activity. This part of the presentation will be available for you to make a copy if you want to use it inside of your class. It was just a simple way for them to get engaged in using Brightspace. If there are any questions, we are here to take them. There is also a Padlet that we ask that we fill out. I taught second grade this past school year, but I had friends or colleagues in the building that used it in grades 1 and 3. I think it's good for any grade that you want to try implementing Brightspace with. Ms. Merrill, would you mind dropping the link for the Padlet?
Oh, sure.
So if there's any questions you have, you can add them to the Padlet. Yes, and I am going to make a copy of the Brightspace Passport and upload it to the folder today. Right? Or you feel free to send me an email. I can also send it there. So we're going to allow for a few minutes for you to explore inside of your Brightspace, editing that nav bar, finding the curriculum or anything that is discoverable. You can type your questions into the chat box or raise your hand, and Ms. Merrill and I will be more than happy to help. Okay. Ms. Merrill, would you mind showing how to move the widgets and making the announcements at the top of the page?
Sure.
Give us one moment and we will be happy to help.
So do you want to put your announcements at the top of your homepage right here? Okay. So this is a little extensive. There is a session this afternoon that will show this. Megan and I are both doing this session. It's at 1 o'clock, but I can walk you quickly through it. And then if you still have questions, please join us at 1 o'clock. All right, so the first thing, let me try to think about this for a second. We're going to be editing our homepage. So we are going to go to our course admin. Once you are here, we're going to find widgets. Once you are in this screen, you're going to go to Home Pages. We're not creating a new home page, we're just editing our current one. So we're going to just scroll down. Whatever one is active currently is going to say active. So what you're going to do is hover over and click on it. Once you're here, you're going to scroll down, and all of your widgets that you have added will be here for you, and you can click and drag. So if you want your course overview at the top, you just drag that up to the top. Does that help? Perfect. All right. And we were looking for the first grade curriculum.
Thank you. I was afraid it was going to get lost in writing.
Yep, no problem. So what we're going to do is you're going to go back to that Discover tool. And I found that when I searched for it, I couldn't really find it yesterday when I searched for the third grade. I don't know, I might have typed something in wrong, but anything that you can discover is in this new section, updated, or there's the all section. So you can just view all and then scroll through to find whatever you wish to add. They're not on mine because I'm already enrolled in them. But anything that you are not currently enrolled in will be here. It'll disappear once you've enrolled, and then you're going to go to the waffle button, and then you're going to click on that first grade curriculum. And there it is. Did we have any other questions, Ms. Salerno? No.
Not at the moment.
Since there's a little bit more time, I can kind of walk through how I changed some of the names of those icons at the top. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to go back to my own sandbox. No problem.
Excuse me, Ms. Merrill, can you go back to the the slide where you had your email address and things so I can write them down?
Oh,
I'm
sure.
in Anne Arundel County, and I just need a few minutes to do that. Yes, this.
No
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
Ms. Merrill, I can drop our emails in the chat box too.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay. And Megan, Lerno. So just let me take a picture of it, and then I'll be done. I just wanna, any questions? Thank you. This presentation is awesome.
Well,
Just
thank
to let
you.
you know, and it's extremely helpful.
Good.
So,
Thank you. I'm glad you got something out of it.
Sure. Thank you.
Ms. Merrill,
Yes.
are they on the student view page? Are we able to see portfolios?
So the portfolio is more of a question for definitely Mr. Towers. He's like the portfolio guru. However, I was not able to look at one of them. I didn't have access, so I put the one that I did have access to. I don't want to speak to it and then be wrong, but I believe that one of them is the portfolio for the teacher to see, to add things, and then my portfolio would be what the students would add and then see their personal portfolio. I am not quite sure, but that would be my assumption.
Also, the only curriculum that is discoverable right now is grades 1 and 3.
Yes.
So all the rest of the curriculum will be coming in the upcoming weeks, but the only ones for today are 1 and 3. And Ms. Merrill, would you mind showing how to customize the widgets one more time?
Yep. So I'm going to go back here. And if I want to edit these icons in my nav bar or edit the wording that it says, I know that ours says class tools right now, but I preferred to take out some of the things that the kids would be using. I teach second grade also. And I just have that really primary mindset, and I want the kids to not have to go to a folder to find things. I want them to just see what they need to go to. So I'm going to edit my nav bar. Some of the things will allow you to click on them. Attendance is one that will not allow you to change it. So if I click on it, nothing's going to happen. I can click on it 10 times and nothing will happen. But if I click on class tools, as you can see, my toolbox is different than what you might have on your screen. So all I did was that I found just free icons online, and I just downloaded one to my computer, and then I uploaded it as a PNG in that icon space. So I can change the name. I had previously changed my name in here to Teacher Tools. I added that toolbox sign or icon, I apologize. And then you can also add things within this folder. I do not know how to create a folder myself, but I do know that I can add things into this folder to just be for me, the teacher. So I added my course admin, a course builder, the discover tool. And so like, I don't know what content statistics is currently, so I can delete that. And then if I say, oh, I think I should probably add that back, all you have to do is add existing link, scroll down. Remember, it's in ABC order, so you just go to that content statistics, check it, add, and then there it is, it's back in there.
Also, Ms. Merrill, if you can show on the actual homepage how to, Mr. Davis or Miss Davis. Sorry, my screen is like cut off. All I can see is Davis.
It's okay. It's Mr. Davis.
Okay. So adding things like Google Meet links, that's something we're going to talk about in the 1 o'clock session today using Google Meet with Brightspace. So we'll show how to add all of that this afternoon.
Okay, then that's fine, and I'll wait till that one.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Also, for the questions about changing the titles, they are set by the county. So homeroom or Ms. Merrill's class, that is something that's already set up in the waffle. But I believe you can change where it says Ms. Merrill's second grade classroom.
Yeah, so they will, in your actual homeroom, Skip was telling us yesterday that they're going to be kind of changing that within that waffle button. So my homeroom will not say homeroom 2-4. It's going to say like maybe our school name, your name, things like that. So they're going to be changing that for you. That's not something that you need to do. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. I honestly was just playing around one day and that's how I figured out how to do it. I believe it's in that, let's see, course admin widgets homepage. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I don't know how I changed that. I apologize. So the video and voice for assignments will also be this afternoon in that 1 o'clock session. Julia, go ahead.
Yeah, you guys made it so easy. When I did the course by myself, I was like crazy, going crazy. But watching you playing around with the nav bar and all of that, it just makes sense.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah. So thank you.
Good. We kind of rushed through it this morning. Yesterday, we had a lot of questions, and I don't know, we had to go through it a lot of times. So I'm glad that we did a good job.
The session for this afternoon is using Google Meet and Brightspace for collaboration. And that's where we're going to show how to make the widgets and adding that link to your Brightspace, as well as just talking about some different Google tools that you can use to facilitate collaboration while you're live in a Google Meet.
I will also show you, so like I said, I made my class tools into teacher tools. So as of right now, if you changed your name to class tools, it will show up when you change to that student view. And let me show you why. So if I previously in class tools, there was the assignments and quizzes. So I'm going to add them back in there. I'm just going to add assignments. I'm going to go back to that student view. And teacher tools is still there. That's because I've added that assignments into teacher tools. They can't see anything else that's in teacher tools other than the assignments. So if I don't want that to show up, I am going to make sure I'm not viewing as a student. I'm going to edit that again, take that out, anything that the students can see. And the only way that I knew that is just playing around with it. take those assignments out. Now when I view as a student, it is no longer there. Cindy, go ahead.
Miss Hughes, are you there? No worries.
Yes, it is still there. For teacher view, I just go out of the student view and it's there. Anything that the students can see though that's why I deleted the assignments out of my teacher tools and added it just to my actual nav bar. And remember, you can do that by just clicking that add links. So I added the assignments to right there rather than inside of my teacher tools. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Sure. So if I am on my Sandbox homepage, I'm going to find my name, that picture of me or whatever you have up there. And I am just clicking on it, and then it'll say view as a student. So I'm going to click on it, and it'll automatically change my view to student. Just remember that when you're in that view as a student or in that student view, you cannot make changes and edit your profile. So you are going to need to make sure that you close out of that student view before you can continue to edit your Sandbox. So I can click the X to leave student view, and it'll take me back to that teacher view. No problem.
There may be a list of what students can see. I am just unsure if it is made and where it is housed. But I will find out, and if there is one, I will add it to our presentations folder.
Deborah, you can go ahead.
Ms. Merrill, when will this presentation be available for us to go back and review? Next week?
The presentation is already in our Brightspace, so I can show you. Have you enrolled in the Brighter with Brightspace conference?
I did.
Okay, fabulous. So you're going to click on that. And then you can go to scroll down to the July 28th sessions.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then if you click on that day 2, what does the primary and intermediate look like? And then our presentation link is right there.
Okay.
So how did you get to the Brightspace conference? So I just want to make sure I am enrolled.
Sure. So you are going to use that Discover tool. And I just used it from my school homepage, but you can, if you've added it to your nav bar,
Yes, I have it.
Okay, perfect.
And then what do I do?
Then you are going to, it should just be up in the new, but you can also look at the all and make sure that it's not there. You can also look in your waffle to see if you've already enrolled, and it'll say Brighter with Brightspace, and you can just, you might have to scroll to find.
So look in the waffle, is that easier?
If you look there and you don't see it, then you know you're not enrolled, and I can walk you back through how to find it in Discover.
Okay, what does it look like? Can you show me what?
Brighter with Brightspace.
I don't think I'm in it.
Okay, sure. So go ahead and get into that Discover tool.
Okay, so let me go back. I'm gonna go back then, I guess. Oh, I'm still in it. Oh, I went back. I'm sorry. Okay, Discover. Okay.
And then I just like to go all the way down to the bottom where it says all.
Yes.
And then I'm going to view all.
Okay.
And then go ahead and take a look to see if you see that course, Brighter with Brightspace. I will not see it because I'm already enrolled.
Okay, I see it.
Okay, so go ahead and click on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you're here, oh, that course was closed. So that was
Just enroll in course.
Yep. And then it'll pop up with something else, and it'll have another blue button that says go to course.
Okay, it says Brighter with Brightspace will soon be available. And soon in my widget. Okay, I got it. So I just pressed OK, and then I can open the course. Okay, so from now on, if I want to go back to those, I just go to the widget and it should be there.
So now you'll go to that waffle button.
Oh, the waffle, I meant the waffle.
Yep.
That's what I meant.
And then you'll find that course, and then this is the home page that you'll see. You can also go to just content at the very top.
Mm-hmm. I see it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Ms. Merrill, we have a few questions coming in. Can you show how to copy your nav bar from your sandbox to your homeroom if that is something you choose to do? Also, and can you show how to customize or take out a widget from your teacher tools so the students can't see it any longer? Does that make sense?
Yes. So to copy and paste it, I would have to play around with it. I'm not quite sure how to do that. Let's see. I know that there's a way to share it, and then
Yes.
that's
Also, Ms. Merrill has changed her, in your sandbox, you will see something called class tools. She has changed the name of hers to teacher tools. Your homeroom should be found in your waffle. It may or may not be turned on though.
all of that will be available to you within the next few weeks.
Yes. So if you do not see your homeroom yet, it is coming. It just is not there yet. Deborah, do you have a question? And I apologize. You can please tell me how to say your last name.
So yes, there is a way to transfer it. I'll have to get back to you. I am not quite sure how to do all of that. I would have to play around with it in order to teach someone how to do it. But if you shoot me an email, once I figure it out, I can get back to you. What was the other question?
So if you want your teacher tools to not be seen by students.
Okay, sure. So I am going to go up here to edit my nav bar. Then I'm going to click on my teacher tools or class tools, whichever one you have chosen to use. To change the name, it's up at the top. You can type in whatever you want. If I wanted to change it back to class tools, I can. This is right underneath it. That is where you can add that icon to upload. And then all of the links in here, if it is just a teacher viewable link, then that's how it will be hidden for students. If I added the assignments, which students will be able to view, and if I save it like that, well, now when I go to that student view, it's there because students are able to see assignments. Does that make sense? If I no longer want my students to see that class tools, I am gonna need to edit. I'm going to click back on class tools. I just need to go and delete the assignments and save.
And Ms. Abbott, so the way Brightspace will be is you'll have access to every subject that you teach. So you'll have a homeroom, a science, a social studies, writing and reading. But in the spring, I decided it was too much for me to go through and put each subject into each category. So I only used my homeroom, and I housed every subject in there. It might be easier, especially in kindergarten, to just use one of your pages.
I'm not sure about the Google phone numbers. I hope so. I really liked being able to have that quick access to parents, and the text messages were great for my families that were my ESOL families. So I'm hoping that we get to keep those. No.
That may be the saddest thing I've ever read.
I know.
So I am going to stop recording. Ms. Merrill, I do thank you for coming to our session. We will be back at 1 o'clock for the Google Meet and Brightspace if you would like to come and hang out with us again. If you also can email us with any questions, or there are office hours at 1 o'clock today as well. So thank you.